You know how every workplace has its own vibe, its own set of unwritten rules about how people talk, how stuff gets done, and what actually gets you noticed? Well, today we're going to crack that code. We are turning those secret rules into a playbook you can actually use. Ugh, you know that feeling, right? It's your first week, and you're just trying to figure out all the inside jokes, the acronyms, and who you're really supposed to talk to when you have a problem. That feeling of being on the outside, that's exactly why understanding this stuff is so important. It's the key to not just fitting in, but actually thriving. So to really get a handle on this, let's think of an organization kind of like a building. When you're just looking at it, you see the finished product. But what's holding it all up is a hidden framework, a blueprint. Every single company has one, and if you learn how to read it, navigating the place becomes so much easier. First up is the structure. This is basically the steel frame of our building. It's the official org chart, the chain of command, the hierarchy. It gives you predictability. You know who your boss is and you know who their boss is. It's the formal map of who's in charge of what. Okay, so let's move on to the next part of the blueprint, the communication networks. If the structure is the frame, these networks are the electrical wiring, carrying information all through the building. And yeah, this includes the official stuff, like company-wide emails and Slack channels, but it also includes the informal stuff, the office grapevine. And let's be honest, sometimes the most important information travels through those unofficial links. And finally, no building just exists in a bubble, right? Every organization has links to the outside world. Think of them as its windows and doors. This means customers, competitors, the economy, everything. What happens out there has a huge impact on what happens inside. So understanding the internal blueprint is only half the story. You've got to see how it plugs into the rest of the world. All right, so if the blueprint is the structure, then the culture, that's the building's personality. It's the vibe you feel the second you walk in the door. Is it super quiet and formal, or is it loud and collaborative? This is that secret language we were talking about, and you can see it in everything a company does. So what is organizational culture, really? Well, the official definition is it's the shared ways of thinking, acting, and understanding that give a company its own unique identity. But here's the really interesting part. Culture isn't just something handed down from the top. It's created, it's kept alive, and sometimes it's even changed by the daily conversations and actions of absolutely everyone who works there. So how can you actually see this culture in action? Well, it's communicated through 4 main channels that you can totally learn to spot. The specific words people use, the stories they tell, the rites and rituals they perform, and even the very structures we just talked about. Let's start with vocabularies. The words a company uses are a massive giveaway. Is it a place where everyone's all formal, using titles like doctor or professor? That tells you they really value hierarchy and status. Or does the office sound like a sports commentary booth, with everyone talking about hitting a home run or coming up with a plan of attack? That can reveal a culture that's maybe a little more competitive. Next, let's clear something up, the difference between rites and rituals. They both shape culture in really powerful ways. See, a rite is a big, dramatic, planned event. Think about the annual award ceremony or the company holiday party. A ritual, though, is more of a routine thing, a part of everyday life, like the team's daily coffee run or that casual Friday afternoon check-in. Both of them totally reinforce the company's values, just on very different scales. And of course, there's no way we can talk about workplace communication without talking about technology. I mean, email, Slack, Zoom, they have completely changed the modern office. But, they're a bit of a double-edged sword. They give us huge advantages, but they also create some brand new challenges. I mean, on the one hand, digital tools can make us way more efficient and flexible. We can work from pretty much anywhere and connect with people all over the world. But on the other hand, it brings constant distractions. That line between work and home life gets so blurry, and there's this pressure to be available 24/7. Figuring out how to manage that trade-off is one of the biggest challenges we all face today. Okay, we've read the blueprint, we've decoded the culture, so what? Now we get to the payoff. How do you make all of this actually work for you? How can you communicate better and build a career that doesn't burn you out? Let's boil it all down to a simple, actionable playbook. So here are 2 massive keys to success based on everything we've covered. First, you have to balance your life. In this always-on digital world, that means setting some real boundaries. Actively decide when you're going to check your email or Slack, and then let your team know. That's how you protect your time and avoid burnout. Second, be smart about managing your relationships at work. Look, friendships at work are great, but you have to be mindful about using the right channels, formal and informal, to keep things professional and navigate the workplace the right way. And that brings us to one last thing to think about. Every single organization tells stories about how it was founded, about some legendary employee, about a time things went horribly wrong or incredibly right. So I want to leave you with this question. What's one story that your workplace tells over and over again? And more importantly, what does that story actually say about what your company truly values? The answer just might tell you everything you need to know.